Awesome.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to a very special off the cuff masterclass, which Nikki and I decided to do, I think, on Sunday. So, feel pretty proud with what we've put together in space of 2 days, and hopefully, we can share lots of knowledge with you, and that you come away feeling really inspired and empowered to add some extra tools in to your natural health bow or arrow.
I
Sorry,
might just,
bow. And
I've just wiped out my video.
thank you, Michelle. We love you, Michelle. The passion for wanting to come and learn more tonight. So the way that I often think about natural health is it's like a bow, and there's lots of different things you can learn, and we're all still learning. We're all still on the journey. There's never really an end point. I love learning new things and all the time. And so tonight we're going to teach you about some new natural medicines that you can add to that bow. New little arrows that you can use, that you can target some of the key concerns that we get asked about all the time. So a little bit about us. So Nikki, the beautiful Nikki Skinner, actually invited me to come and do this class together. We were chatting on the weekend and thought, hey, why not? Why don't we educate together? It is something that we did years ago and we haven't done for a long time. So really excited to bring our combined knowledge and share that with you. Nikki is or was was a pediatric emergency nurse for many, many years. She is now a passionate full-time low tox lifestyle educator, but bringing into her education all of that nursing background. And she has a very specific focus around families, particularly young families with young children. She's also recently become an integrative health practitioner, which is incredible. She's got two girls, and she recently left us the beautiful slopes of the Bay of Plenty. She is a lifestyle property owner now and spends half of her time herding goats, I think.
Literally.
So. And then me, who I know many of you know, I'm a nutritionist and naturopath. I love teaching people about whole foods. I'm an author as well. I've got 4 small minions, which is why I have a lock on the office door, and it is locked currently. I love traveling, skiing, and I just love maximizing life. And I really am just get very enthusiastic about teaching people about natural health. So hopefully I can rein that in a little bit and remain calm this evening. We still have people joining us, which is awesome. So what's our goal to tonight? Well, we want to empower you. We want to empower you with natural solutions. Natural medicines, a lot of these we can now actually call medicines. They're approved by the Therapeutic Goods, under the Therapeutic Goods Act, to actually be classed as medicines, which is very, very exciting. Both Nikki and I actually came from medical backgrounds. Obviously, Nikki working in the nursing world. I grew up in a medical family. My mum is a medical doctor. She had her own medical practice my entire life from as far back as I remember. Being 4 years old, she had her own medical practice, and I was a receptionist in her practice for many years. I was a phlebotomist in her practice for many years, taking bloods. So I remember looking at blood results with her when I was 15, 16, 17. I obviously went to the dark side and studied naturopathy and natural medicine instead. But actually, all of these things, whether we're using conventional medicine or natural medicine, they're all are tools to support our health. And our goal is to help you use the natural tools first, and then only lean on the conventional ones when you need to. Treat them as the special donut, not the everyday dessert. We want to care for your family's physical and emotional health needs. We're going to talk about both and teach you specifically how to use essential oils safely and effectively in your home. If you know Nikki and I, or even if you are new to hearing us speak, you'll know that one area that we really love teaching about is essential oils. And the reason why is these are the strongest form of plant medicine. They're the most potent form of plant medicine. So if you're having a chamomile tea currently during this class, or maybe after this class to wind down and support you with sleep, that's awesome, but it's the weakest form of herbal medicine that you can use. You can then use a chamomile tincture, or let's say a Haka Herbals or a Kiwi herbal tonic that's got chamomile in it. They don't actually do one with chamomile, but let's say they did. And that would be a stronger form of herbal medicine. And then the Mac Daddy is actually your chamomile essential oil. So it can be up to 70 times stronger than the plant itself. And that's why we get so excited about them, because if we have a client who's using sleeping pills to help them sleep, or is using melatonin on a daily basis for their children to get their children to sleep, then the next step down, which is as strong as possible but is natural and is not going to be something that's addictive or cause that child's internal system to produce less melatonin on its own, then our next step down is essential oils. So that's why we love educating about them. And both of us use and have partnered with doTERRA as one of the brands that we use a lot with our clients. So our community, jump in the chat and pop a 1 in the chat if you are already in our community. So pop a 1 in the chat, and this is great because it makes you find where the chat is. Or pop a 2 in the chat if you're not yet part of our community. So lots of 1s. We love 1s, which means you're all experts and we're just going to go straight to the hardcore stuff. Do we have any 2s? Be brave. Sophie, 2. Although Sophie came to Women's Hormones last week, so Sophie's almost a 1. Any other 2s in the house? Michelle, welcome. Thank you for being so brave to come in here and learn more. So our community, when you choose to start your journey with us, you get access to so much. You get support, education, masterclasses like these, resources, ebooks, which we're going to send you, teaching you about the specific oils we're teaching about. You get exclusive discount codes. There are private Facebook and Instagram pages that we can add you into. You get a wellness consult with Nikki or myself or one of our team. We have ongoing oil education programs, and you may even be lucky to snag yourself a welcome gift. So I'm going to pass over to Nikki to teach us a bit more about why swapping to natural is so important for you as women, as men, for our families, and for our children.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Buffy. So for me, Buffy's obviously already introduced me, but for me, the pillar of replacing pharmaceuticals is a big passion piece. We obviously, and you guys already know this if you've been, in our communities and using oils, we can use them for a lot of other things, from, cleaning, making our houses smell beautiful and lowering our toxic load in other areas. But specifically in terms of having that natural resource to reach for before going down the pharmaceutical route, there is so much need for this now more than ever. Now, as Buffy mentioned, my specialty is pediatrics, and our kids are getting sicker, guys. 1 in 13 children now have things like food allergies. I don't know what it was like when you were going to school, but I do not remember the number of peanut allergies even. I think there was like maybe 1 child in my whole entire school. Cases of autoimmune disease. Kids that are given antibiotics in that first year of life are getting more chronic illnesses like our eczema, our asthma. It seems like every second child is suffering from some kind of skin or respiratory condition, celiac disease, all of these things because of what these antibiotics are doing to the gut microbiome. We are also in a bit of a fertility epidemic. And that is definitely very multifactorial. But things like infertility, PCOS, that has just been mentioned by Sophie in the chat, endometriosis, all these kinds of things, they are skyrocketing. And there's a lot of different causes, but one of them is environmental for sure. Antibiotic resistance. Now, this is something that's, I don't think, talked about enough. But this basically, in a nutshell, is if we use antibiotics too much, they are very, very clever. Bacteria are very clever, and they actually stop responding. And what that means is that we need bigger doses over time to accomplish that same effect. And then what happens is they stop responding at all, and they hide in things like biofilm, and they're very, very difficult to kill. This also applies for other pharmaceutical drugs that you might be taking, things like your melatonin or antidepressants, all those kinds of things. And so what we want to do is we want to find a more natural solution to rely on that doesn't have these side effects, right? So now's an amazing time. My 40-year-old sister is struggling to get pregnant, been trying for years. And that is, unfortunately, more and more common. So we want to learn these things and these, use these tools to help us, but also put our kids in the best place, toxic burden wise, so that they won't have these problems like we are, right? As a conservative approach first. I love that, Nigel. Next slide, please, Buff. Cool. All right. So, how can we actually use these essential oils proactively and also acutely? So, I guess sleep is a really big one, and we're going to be talking about that tonight. Stress response. There are a lot of oils that we're going to be talking about tonight that can have a really profound effect on our nervous system, on our what we call our parasympathetic nervous system. So we're going to be talking about that. Emotional regulation and anxiety. This we will be talking about for adults, but this is also really, really important for our kids. So we want to teach them and give them the tools to be able to respond appropriately with their emotions. And also, around any kind of anxious feelings, we want them to have, and I have seen this firsthand, how a child can feel a sense of control over a situation when they have an essential oil in their hand and when they're applying it to their feet. The physical act of doing that gives and empowers that child so significantly. And I just want that for all of you, whether it's for your own children or for your grandbabies. Replacing toxic candles, air fresheners, so anything in our environment I'm going to be talking about synthetic fragrance tonight. And we've already kind of touched on being able to replace pharmaceuticals and having things on hand when we need them for acute respiratory illnesses. I've lost count the number of people who have been in my DMs battling influenza this season, and we have support for that as well. Some of these essential oils have beautiful antimicrobial properties, which means when we diffuse them in the air, they're actually able to kill viral threats, which is really cool. Respiratory, coughs, colds, fevers, all of that, and just general symptoms for illness. Next one. Cool. All right. So I've kind of just touched right there on a couple of ways that we can use them. So let's kind of go through really quickly the 3 ways that we can use these oils. Now, just bear in mind that this is specific to doTERRA oil. So if you're watching this on the replay and you have not yet got doTERRA oils in your collection, please do not take this information and go down to Kmart and buy a $4 bottle of pure lavender, because A, you won't get the results you want, but B, it's not pure oil. It literally can't be. So let's have a chat about aromatic. This is basically any way that we're getting that essential oil through your olfactory system and working on your limbic system, which is your emotional control center at the back of your brain. So this has a really profound effect for mood. So for any kind of anxious feelings, low mood, all that kind of thing, really amazing for just helping with your nervous system. Aromatic is amazing for our respiratory system as well. All of those beautiful chest oils that are going to be opening up your sinuses and helping with easy breathing, particularly important for these winter months. And also, as I already talked about, we are able to use these oils to cleanse our environment as well, to whether that's battling any kind of viral threat in the air, or getting rid of odors, or just making your house smell pretty. All of that is using your aromatic. So this can be in a diffuser, like you can see in the photo there. So that's basically putting water in your diffuser, putting your oils on top and doing that. Aromatic can actually look like grabbing your favorite oil, putting a drop on the palm of your hands and just rubbing your hands together and just cupping your nose and inhaling. Like that. That's still aromatic, right? So any way that you're inhaling it. And I encourage you to do that multiple times a day. We'll talk about some routines and rhythms soon. The second way that we can use these essential oils is topically, and this just basically means on your skin. We always dilute essential oils. We want to dilute for safety reasons. We want to dilute to make our oils stretch. And we also dilute with a carrier oil because the carrier oil helps the essential oil be absorbed into the body faster and it actually prolongs its effectiveness. So doTERRA sell a fractionated coconut oil, which is really good, basic. It's non-greasy, so it doesn't make your clothes all greasy, and it absorbs really fast and well. And nobody really has reactions as much because there's no nuts. It's just a general good, safe oil to use. So when you're going to be applying it, you want to dilute safely based on the age of who's using it. And we all have guides on how to do this in our community, so don't stress about that. But basically, the younger the child, the more you're going to dilute. And when it comes to where you're going to put it on your body, it becomes very intuitive. If you're wearing it as your natural perfume, I'm going to be talking about that tonight, you'll be popping it on your pulse points because that is where your arteries and veins are closest to the surface of your skin. So they're nice and hot. The essential oil can enter your bloodstream through there, but it's just a beautiful way to wear your essential oils. If you are struggling with anxiety, or if you've got a throbbing headache, for example, you might be popping it on your temples. If you've got lower back pain, you'll be rubbing your oil on your back. If you've got period pain, you'll be rubbing your abdomen. Sorry, boys. But yeah, when it comes to great places for oils, feet are a big one, high on the list, particularly for children, because your feet have very big pores. They've got lots of nerve endings, lots of reflexology points down there, and your feet have tough skin. So nobody really reacts to essential oils down there, but they can be pulled into the body and work in the body. And it's a great place for kids because they can reach it, they can grab their roller and apply it themselves. Now, the third way is internally. Now, some of doTERRA's essential oils are safe to ingest, and we're going to talk to that tonight. If you want to know if your oil is okay to ingest, you actually look on it and it will say for flavoring use. If it does not say that, please do not ingest it. So that might just be a drop under your tongue. It might be a drop in water, or it might be using a veggie cap and popping it in there with some olive oil and taking it internally like that.
Just a really great question in the chat from Rebecca that just said that she doesn't usually have a carrier oil when she does an inhalation, and that's absolutely okay. So it's not because necessarily that the oils are going to be harmful to put on your skin undiluted. It's because when you put them on your skin, for children, obviously you want to dilute, but typically we're wanting to put some carrier oil as well to help it to absorb into the skin. If you're just doing an inhalation on your hands, you're aiming for the olfactory, for it to go through into the olfactory system as opposed to absorb into the skin, which is why putting it on neat on your hands is fine for an aromatic inhalation.
Great question.
Sorry, team. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Some other bits and pieces that are really good for you guys to know about oils in general. If you are newer to essential oils, they are, as a rule, very safe when they're used appropriately, which is obviously how we teach in our communities. They are 100% natural. doTERRA's are. We want to make sure that we are buying pure potent oils. So what we want to be doing is making sure that we're buying an essential oil brand that does third-party testing, and doTERRA they have 54 different tests that they do on these oils to ensure that they are pure. Unfortunately, with the essential oil trade, there is a lot of cowboys out there who like to dilute their essential oils with a lot of synthetic ingredients. Unfortunately, some heavy metals are thrown in there as well, because people are taking shortcuts. And what that means is that not all oils are going to be the same, right? So we want to, as particularly for me, because I teach this with children, I want to know that what I'm using is safe, right? The other good thing about buying pure oils is when they are pure, they're going to be a lot more potent. So you need a whole lot less for the same result, right? So your oils are going to last longer because you're not using as much because they are so potent. The other really cool thing about doTERRA oils in general is the way that they're sourced. Now, as I spoke about, unfortunately, with the essential oil trade, there are a whole lot of people doing a whole lot of dodgy things. And oftentimes, an essential oil, when it is harvested and grown, goes through about 6 or 7 different middlemen before it's actually able to be purchased by the consumer. And each of these people are taking a cut along the way. And so what you're paying is nowhere near what these guys are actually getting on the other end. So what doTERRA decided to do is cut out all of those middlemen and deal directly with the farmers and growers so that they're able to pay them on time, fair payment. They are creating sustainable businesses for these people. They are healing communities, and they are providing jobs, and they will not source an essential oil if they cannot do it ethically and sustainably. So their practices are beyond organic. I often get asked, why are these oils not organic? They go so far beyond an organic certification to ensure purity. And because they are sourcing from all over the world, there is no one organic certification that they can get from Africa and from Bolivia and from Guatemala and all these different places. But they can make sure that they are helping these people to grow these crops in a way that is going to mean that their oils are pure. Essential oils, because they are a fat, and oil is a fat, they're very effective at entering our body fast and working really fast and giving us results, because our skin and the layer around our cells are also made of fat. And in terms of affordability, when you work out, and I did some maths today, which I might share a little bit later, when you work out the cents per drop and what you can do with these essential oils, they are ridiculously cheap. And it's also about the time saving that you are gifting yourself by using these, instead of having to go to the GP and sit for 2 hours with your child in the doctor's office, because you're empowered in your home with these natural solutions. Cool. All right. So you may have seen us talk about this already today on social media, but this is the BOGO box. Now, this is the buy one, get one free. So what they have done is you basically purchase 4 products and you're going to get 5 free, which is no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, five items free, which is wild. They have grossly reduced this. And we're going to talk about these oils tonight and how you can use them in your home. Cool. All right. Let's start with this one. These are our beautiful smelling essential oils. These are really, really cleverly curated essential oils. The first one is called Coast. Now, when I initially see these 2 oils, the thing that I think of is an instant replacement in your home for things like your candles, your reed diffusers, your air fresheners, any kind of room sprays, linen sprays, anything like that you may still have around, that you are using some kind of synthetic fragrance. Now, synthetic fragrance, unfortunately, is in basically everything. And unfortunately, we don't know what is in there. Brands and manufacturers, as a rule, are protected in that they all they have to write is fragrance. They do not have to disclose the chemicals in that particular fragrance, and that's because that's basically their trade secret. And if they gave that away, that formula away, then they would be afraid that people would steal that and replicate their product. But for us as educated consumers, that's a real problem, because we actually have no idea if they're using things like synthetic musks or phthalates, which are both known endocrine disruptors. So we want to swap out any synthetic fragrance that we have in our home, and we want to be using natural alternatives. The other interesting thing, because we're talking about women's health a little bit tonight, and also specifically around metabolism, is synthetic fragrance actually has the ability to become what are called xenoestrogen. And what that does is it basically replicates our body's estrogen and blocks receptors. And long story short, it causes inflammation in our bodies. And this is one of the reasons why, unfortunately, one of the contributing factors to struggling fertility and things like that as well. So the other thing that synthetic fragrance acts as is an obesogen. And what does that mean? That's basically a chemical which can cause us to be inflamed in our body and basically gain weight or struggle to lose it and become insulin resistant. So it's not just about, there's kind of multiple different ways that these chemicals work on our endocrine system. And it's not good. And it's such an easy solve. So let's have a chat about some of these blends. Coast. Okay, so this is a more, when you smell this, it reminds you of walking into like a beach home and a holiday. It reminds me of a holiday. Very coastal vibes. It's beautifully relaxing, quite uplifting. It's a brilliant oil to use for air purification. So you can pop it, whether it's at your desk and you're wanting to use it for focus and energy. It also works as a beautiful replacement for if you've run out of things like your Easy Air, your Vicks blend. So you can use it on the chest, open up airways. It works as a great men's cologne. It's quite a masculine aroma. And I also love to make up room sprays. I popped a little recipe there for you. And I love this in the laundry. It's so fresh. And it makes, towels smell phenomenal. So that is the Coast. And then Citrus Bloom. Now, this is hands down one of my all-time favorite blends. This one and Citrus Bliss, like literally go in my home at some point every single day. It's so lovely. This is like an oil that I would diffuse if I was having like an open home and I just wanted something that everybody would love, right? I also wear this as perfume. So if you are a lady, make this little perfume roller. This is a beautiful blend for if you also have teenagers, because they potentially will be asking you for those horrendous impulse sprays. Make them a beautiful roller to replace that and use this one here. So this has got some really, really smart oils in it. It has a lot of citrus vibes, which are super uplifting, but it's also got linalool and it's also got magnolia and lavender. Now, they are very, very high in a constituent called linalool. Now, linalool is the constituent that is responsible for the sedative properties in lavender. So basically, it's incredibly calming for the nervous system as well. So anxiousness, tension, any kind of stress, it's going to lower your cortisol levels. Again, you can use it, in place of your candles, your air fresheners. I love to pop it on dryer balls and have all my towels smell phenomenal. I've got Renelle loves to use it. She's on the call. She loves to use it and make in hand soap. So if you've got some liquid Castile soap and you're making a foaming hand wash, pop 10 to 15 drops of your citrus bloom in there, and it is so divine. So really, really cool combo. I think by now this potentially will be sold out in New Zealand as the single deal. But grab it in your BOGO box because it's a goodie. Over to you, Buffy. Babe, you're still muted. Oh dear.
And
Start again.
Start again. Yeah, so one thing I wanted to add is I just found it so fascinating learning a bit more about these two blends is that they both contain this constituent this oil, magnolia oil, which has actually been indicated for depression. So we can use magnolia herbal extract for depression. So both of these, whilst we're talking about removing synthetic fragrance and having some nice natural perfumes, and that's fabulous in itself as a goal, but actually at the same time, you're going to be supporting nervous system, mood, anxiety, We've also got ingredients like Roman chamomile and lavender in the citrus bloom, which are great for anxiety. So, these ones double team as your natural perfumes, but also to support stress and mood. And like I've got my diffuser going on my desk and I have it going all day long in my office and then all night long by my bed, because what we know is that when you're diffusing an oil, it seems like a relatively kind of, non-invasive thing, just sitting in a diffuser, maybe making the room smell nice, but actually we're inhaling that. And when we have this low-grade inhalation for periods of 6 to 8 hours, that's when we see evidence of things like cortisol significantly lowering. So don't downplay the benefit that you can get of just chucking an oil blend in your diffuser. I love it because it's like a set and forget. You don't have to think about it during the day. You set and forget it once in your office, if you work in an office, and you set and forget once at night before you go to bed. And you're going to be getting like multitudes of benefits for very, very limited energy outlay and cost outlay as well. Okay. Next page. Sleep. So I love teaching about sleep. And I'm going to go into a little bit now, but if you do want to learn more about this, we do actually have a masterclass that we did on sleep. So I'm more than happy to share that link with you if you want to go further. But sleep is so important. It was one of probably the top two things that I have personally struggled with. I've struggled with sleep, falling asleep since I was about 21. I'm literally lying there, for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, some nights up till 3 a.m. I've had a few nights, a handful of nights where I'm up till 5 a.m. and I can start seeing the sun come up, and it's quite devastating knowing that you've just been lying there all night long. So I've really, really struggled with sleep, and so I do know firsthand how absolutely debilitating it is if you are not getting a good sleep. I have, in more recent years, learned more about how having a deep restorative sleep improves so many other things too. So it's not about just feeling energized the next day. It is actually the period during which our body heals itself. So you imagine when we shut down for sleep, there's the overnight crew jumps in, turns on the Hoover and starts cruising around the body, hoovering up all the abnormal cells which have been created during the day. So all of us every single day are creating these abnormal cancer-like cells. And if we don't hoover them up at night, then they duplicate. And that's what actually creates cancer. So we can see in populations like shift workers, we have really high rates of cancer because they don't have these really deep restorative healing periods where the body is actually able to heal itself. So having a restorative sleep is important for our long-term health. It also improves mood. It improves weight loss. It improves skin. There are so many areas that just having a deep sleep, a deep restorative sleep can improve. And it's not just about the length of the sleep. So I always used to think, oh, well, if I get 9 hours and 10 hours, then I'll feel better. I need 10 hours. And I've got so many clients that have also come to me and said, Buffy, I actually just don't feel rested unless I have 10 hours. I need 10 hours sleep. Well, actually, what we now know is that it's not just the length. You can have 10 hours of really average sleep, and that is not even going to compete with 8 hours of deeply restorative sleep, where the Hoover's on high and everything's getting sucked up. And so we can use natural medicine, and I would say it is the most effective way to move us into having more quality sleep. Food is helpful too, and I love food. I'm a nutritionist. I love teaching people about whole food, and we can use foods to support sleep, certainly eating certain foods and maybe erring away from others to help you with sleep. But actually, where you're going to get heavy hitting results is adding in some herbal medicine into your sleep routine. And I would say, even if you don't think you're a bad sleeper, adding these in is going to turn your 7 out of 10 8 hours to a 10 out of 10 8 hours, meaning you wake up more energized, with better mood, with more ability to balance blood sugars, with more ability to maintain your optimal weight. If you can see me getting excited about this topic, it's because I'm so enthusiastic about helping people have this quality sleep. So what can we do to help ourselves? We can take internally, like Nikki was saying, some sleep herbs. So this particular blend, these soft gels, it's just in 2 little capsules. You take 2 capsules before bed. I could probably just pop 2 now because we're kind of, edging towards that time. So two soft gels in the mouth about an hour before bed. We've got lavender, which we know is good for anxiety. It's a gentle sedative. We've got L-theanine, which actually helps to create alpha waves in our brain, which helps us to fall asleep. We also have tart cherry, which is a natural melatonin. So instead of taking melatonin, and I know our GPs love to prescribe melatonin because it's part of their toolkit, but taking melatonin on a regular basis actually down-regulates our body's own ability to produce melatonin. So when we come off it, we are worse off. So using tart cherry, and you might have seen it in a natural health shop, is a natural way to stimulate the body to create its own melatonin. We've also got lemon balm, passion flower, and chamomile, 3 more known herbs, heavily researched herbs that support sleep. So you're going to take 2 soft gels, and you're going to get through the internal system so it's absorbed through the gut. And then you're going to use the topical application. See, I'm harking back to that slide at the beginning we talked about, topical, aromatic, internal. So then we're going to get the stick, and team, this is, I'm sure you can guess, going to be one of the deals this week, one of the daily deals. I guarantee this one will sell out because I will be buying 6 sets of it. I use one of these sticks myself. So before bed, I have this by my bed. I'm going to put it all over my neck. I actually put it around my jaw, around here. I do a little swipe under the nose so I can get a bit of an inhalation going as well. I also put this around the jaw of my twins. They're 2.5 years old. I put it around here. I put it on their chest and down their spine. And for my 7-year-old and 11-year-old, I have another one stick by each of their beds, and I put that down their spine as well. Incredible. Now, any guesses what you would also do to enhance your sleep anymore? If you can think of a third way you could enhance and get a more deeper restorative sleep, chuck it in the chat. And below you can see there's some research there. In a 6-week trial, we saw that oral lavender oil, which is in the lavender pea soft gels, reduced anxiety comparably to lorazepam. Okay, like an antidepressant sleep medication. We also know that lavender inhalation before bed has been shown to increase deep, slow wave, lower sleep. Let's see if we've got any answers. Yes, diffuse lavender, vetiver in the diffuser. Some great idea, blue block glasses. Yes, thank you. Right, you'll see Nikki and I wearing those. But yes, in the diffuser as well. So not part of this particular BOGO box, this particular box, but to enhance your sleep anymore, yes, lavender, lavender piece, valerian, vetiver in the diffuser. We're also actually going to talk about a couple more that you can put in your diffuser as well. Magnesium too, cotton sheets and pillows, yes, natural bedding. All right. Moving on. But any questions about sleep, throw them in the chat and I'll answer them in my next break. So next is energy and sugar cravings. So it goes along from sleep. If we don't get a good sleep, we wake up feeling flat, right? How many people wake up in the morning and feel like a 6, 7 out of 10? Throw it in the chat. I actually want to pop in the chat. When you wake up in the morning, what would you give your energy rating out of 10? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Throw it in the chat. So let's chat energy. So improving your sleep, because I ask this question a lot to clients, and most of the time they'll tell me 6. 4, 5, 6. Like they're waking up and their energy levels are 4, 5, 6. And they're walking around during the day like a 4, 5, 6 version of you. And I'm sitting there going, I most days feel like a 9 or a 10, energy-wise. Skin's getting a little saggy, but energy-wise, most days it's a 9 out of 10. And that's what we want for you. We can use these natural medicines to boost you up to a 10, because you all deserve to be living and feeling like a 10 out of 10 version of you. So what can we do to help ourselves? We can get a really good sleep. First of all, okay, a quality sleep, not necessarily longer, but quality. Then we can use this blend here. It's called Recharge, and it's a blend of electrolytes. Now, I always used to think that electrolytes was something for sports people. I was like, electrolytes not for me. You know, I do go to the gym, I go for walks, but I'm not really sweating. I don't need electrolytes. Plus, Powerade is full of sugar, right? It's plastic, and it's just, yeah, it's not my vibe. So that's what I used to think about electrolytes until I learned about the research on electrolytes. And this has probably been one of my more recent learnings, is that actually over 75% of people are chronically dehydrated. So we are walking around all day long with cells that are slightly shrivelly and dry. Now, why is that? We're not getting electrolytes in the right ratios to absorb water into our cells. So we can sit here at our desk with our plastic drink bottle. Nick is going to hand me up about that, but I love SodaStream. So we can sit there at our desk. It doesn't sit in the bottle for long. It goes into the glass cup very quickly. So we can sit there drinking our water, but we're actually not absorbing all of that into our cells. So we can help this by adding in some electrolytes in the right ratios to get all of that water into the cells. So it's instantly, you're going to lift yourself from 75% hydrated to 100% hydrated. And what's that going to do to your energy? I guarantee it'll increase your energy. Most electrolytes that you can buy on the market are either packed full of sugar, right? Or they have the electrolytes in the wrong ratios. These electrolytes also have 3 types of magnesium in there, which we know is supportive for resting the body. It also contains deep ocean minerals and 2 ingredients, which are my favorites. Fresh ginseng, which is energizing. It's a naturally energizing herb, so you don't want to take this at night. I typically take mine around 3 p.m. for that sort of 3 p.m. slump. As well as containing baobab, which is a plant which helps absorb water into the cells. So that is something that you can take to increase your energy. I love putting it in sparkling water, 500 mils of sparkling water, but you could just put it in regular water as well. And I love these. I have not met a client that has not tried these and experienced a boost in the energy. So give them a whirl and see how you feel. I actually give these, no, Sarah, let me rephrase. The kids actually take these out of my medicine cabinet now and help themselves to it and mix them with sparkling water, because they for them it's like a nice hydrating natural version of like a soda. So the other thing that we can do to support our energy and sugar cravings, remember we talked about that 3 p.m. slump, is actually use an oil. Now this oil blend, it's called MetaPower, but it is just a blend of 5 different plants which we can use to stimulate metabolism and reduce sugar cravings. And you'll know some of them. Grapefruit oil. We've all heard about the grapefruit juice diet. Lemon oil. We all know about lemon oil being good for detoxification. Peppermint helps digestion. We know that. We have it after a big meal. Ginger oil is stimulating to the metabolism. And then cinnamon has been shown to actually support blood sugar balance and help with healthy weight management. So this oil combines all 5 of those together to help boost metabolism. Now, how would you use this in practice? I put 4 drops in my morning, another supplement that I take in the morning in a drink sachet called Advantage. I put 4 drops of that in there, and this is going to actually help to support metabolism, boost your metabolism, reduce sugar cravings. It actually has been shown to reduce the maturation or size of fat cells just by taking this oil. Isn't that wild? And we can use it for dry brushing as well. So putting a drop on your dry brush to help with circulation and cellulite. But back to the sugar cravings. Since taking this, I have a major sweet tooth. Nikki will know this. I just love those raw sweet treats, just healthy sweet treats. I could just eat so many of them. And in the afternoon, I would not often, every day go and have a sweet treat, but I wouldn't just have one. I'd probably have 4 or 5. And people would always say, oh, but that's okay, Buffy, because you're slim, so you can have extras, it doesn't matter. And in the back of my mind, I thought, yeah, but I'm sure it's not great that I'm, chowing down on so many of these raw sweets. They're organic and whole foods, but, since taking this, the last year, it's probably been almost a year, I have noticed a significant reduction in those sugar cravings in the afternoon. I go and have a little sweet treat in the afternoon, but I have one with a matcha, and I'm good. I'm so good. It's wild to me how much it has changed. But more importantly, I have probably had almost 10 clients now say that they have been doing the same and they've noticed a significant reduction in their sugar cravings. So give it a try for yourself. Take it consistently in the morning, and you take it in the morning and it has an effect in the afternoon. That's how it's working. So give it a try, but that's just something I also get really excited about because I've had so much great feedback from clients using those 5 herbs. And passing back to Nikki for hormones and skin.
Yes. All right. So these 2 oils are potentially ones that you don't know much about, but they are absolute powerhouse. Now, if you have been using essential oils at all, you will have likely heard us talk about the Clary Calm stick. Now, the hero in Clary Calm is Clary Sage. It is a floral oil, and its main kind of known traditional use is for hormone support. So amazing for supporting a really healthy menstrual cycle. So this works throughout your female reproductive history. So this will support teens that are struggling with, consistent hormones. It will support whether you have painful, heavy periods. It will support you through your perimenopause, and it will also support you if you are going through menopause and you are experiencing symptoms like hot flushes, night sweats, all of those, brain fog. It's going to be your friend regardless of where you are in your cycle. Really supportive for particularly for pain. You can see I've popped a little pain roller down the bottom. If you have your frankincense or copaiba, those are great just to amplify the effect of that clary calm. But you can make up that roller and you'll just be rolling it around your belly button and kind of massaging it underneath your umbilical area there. Really, really supportive. You can also pop some on your lower back if you're getting a bit of referred pain there as well. But that is really, really supportive. Clary sage is actually really powerful for supporting stress as well and cortisol levels, physically lowering cortisol levels and helping activate that parasympathetic nervous system. So really, really supportive for any kind of mild depressive symptoms and also anxious feelings. Clary sage is one that a lot of people will know that they may have invested in as a one-off just before they were giving birth. Now, the reason is clary sage is very supportive for increasing the effectiveness of uterine contractions. So it's not one that we ever want to use while, in our first trimester. But when you are 40 weeks and you are good to go and you are ready to get that baby out, inhaling your clary sage, when your body is ready, it is going to help strengthen and increase the efficacy of your contractions. So a lot of midwives will have this on hand and bring that into the labor suite. So that's just an interesting fact. Also really good for skincare. So we can add this to our skin serums for the general, skin condition. Also really great if you want to add a couple of drops to your shampoo to use on your scalp as well. So that is clary sage. Now, the next one I want to talk about is cypress. Now, cypress is the oil of circulation. It's a deeply earthy, grounding essential oil, also phenomenal for skincare. Cypress is very well known for helping with any kind of circulation issues and lymphatic drainage. So if you wake up in the mornings and you are one of those people that collects a lot of fluid underneath your eyes, you are going to want this in your collection. So what you can do is you can make up a beautiful little eye serum and actually apply that underneath your eyes. I have seen Emily Wright, who was one of the doTERRA founders a couple of years ago, she did it before and after with a lag time of about 30 minutes, showing the effect of cypress underneath on her kind of like eye bags and dark circles. And it was night and day. It was phenomenal. Also really amazing for if you've got a teen with acne or if you've got some hormonal acne going on. Really supportive for using in a lymphatic massage. I think, Buffy, did you go and get a massage with cypress like recently? Was that
on Monday? On Monday, it was a business expense because I needed to try it out for you, team. So I have taken a hit for the team.
I love that.
Massage with cypress and clary sage, actually.
Wow. Really, really supportive for our body system. So when you are incorporating it either with a dry brushing routine, like when I'm in my sauna, I'll add a couple of drops just directly to the dry brush and use that like you would. You can use the same MetaPower. These are both phenomenal for that. But, brushing up towards the heart, really, really supportive for helping lymphatic drainage. Now, if you suffer from things like spider veins or varicose veins or any kind of congestion in your venous system, whether you've had a couple of births, and babies love to do that to us, don't they? This can be really, really amazing and a beautiful aromatic dressing. So you would get a carrier oil and you would pop some cypress and you would just gently massage your legs, and it's really supportive for that kind of lymphatic congestion as well. Great for a couple of drops in the bath if you've got sore muscles, joints, things like that. And because it is a tree oil, it's also really good for any kind of respiratory issues, coughs, congestions, that kind of thing. And again, because it's a tree oil and it's got those beautiful constituents in it, it is very good for our nervous system. So you can diffuse this for any kind of anxiety, or if you're just wanting, to bring some calm to the family. So that is cypress. There we go. Now, not to be forgotten is our beautiful silk pillow, which Buffy, mine's on my bed. I was trying to remember to bring it. Lovely. Honestly, I got mine probably it's probably about 18 months ago now. I think it might have been in a Mother's Day sale, or was it Christmas catalog? Anyway, I kid you not, I have not taken it off except to wash it. I just don't enjoy sleeping on anything else, to the point where I'm going away next month and I take it traveling with me. That is how obsessed I am with what it does to my hair, the coolness on my skin, and just the lack of creases. Like, I never wake up with like the pillow creases on your face, like those marks. Like, it's just phenomenal. So it's really, really, because it's such a beautiful silky feel, it's not going to cause any kind of split ends. It's not going to damage your hair. There's a lot less irritation, so great for skin conditions. Great for if you do have allergies, or if you have any children or yourself have any kind of respiratory allergens going on. Obviously replace the pillow inside, but even just changing the cover can help as well, and amazing for skin. So that is a really, really beautiful addition, particularly for, with our sleep bundle as well. And with your BOGO box, you're getting free shipping, and you're also going to get your 25% off Low Tox shop included for free, which is amazing.
Just so you know, team, the BOGO box only comes with one pillowcase. So if you have an OCD brain and you don't like the look of one silk pillowcase on that bed, you may need to purchase two. So I had to purchase two when this came out to have a matching set. But yes, beautiful. I've just been in the chat answering questions. Okay, we've got some DIYs. So please feel free to screenshot this. We will be sending you a recording of this class tomorrow, so you can access the recipes there. But if you want to just grab a screenshot. So I've put these together with the help of Wendy, who is one of our team, who is a qualified aromatherapist. And we've tried to create these just using what's inside the box. So basically, when you get that box, you can actually make all of these on their own, just with what you've got. So first of all, I've got a deep sleep diffuser, and I've been trying these out the last week. So 6 drops of Coast. Remember, we've got the magnolia in there. We've got Douglas fir in there as well. I think we have a little bit of cedarwood. So all of those, great for sleep. But then we're going to add in some cypress to make it more of a forest bathing blend, and then clary sage, which is going to help us to help with anxiety, mood, and is also used in a lot of sleep blends. That one I have been trying the last few nights, stunning. So actually, Sophie made the good point that if you've got your lavender peace soft gels and your lavender peace stick, and actually you can make that deep sleep diffuser right there, you've got your restorative sleep tonight. Beautiful. And so your energy, you're going to wake up and your energy is going to be at least 1 point greater than it is currently. Then we've got a Calm Woman diffuser with our Citrus Bloom as the base of that real feminine one blend. Citrus Bloom is gorgeous on its own, like Nikki said. You can make a roller, but you can also add a couple of drops of cypress, a couple of drops of clary sage, help to balance hormones. The cypress is quite grounding, and that clary sage is going to help with hormones and mood as well. That one is also beautiful, and I've had that in the diffuser during the day. We've got a cellulite roller with some of the ingredients in our Meta Power. Remember, that was grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, cinnamon, stimulating, right? Put that on our body brush. We've added in the cypress for the circulation. We've also added in a little bit of pink pepper. But if you don't have the pink pepper, you could just do the Meta Power cypress combo. add it with some carrier oil into a roller bottle, like Nikki was saying, and roll it on the desired area. And then you could also do that with a body brush, drop of Metapower, drop of Cypress on your body brush. The last one, our ADHD lady. For our ADHD lady, or our lady that just feels overwhelmed, we're going to use a base of citrus bloom with those beautiful calming nervous system herbs, Roman chamomile, magnolia, lavender, orange. And then we're going to ground it with 2 other oils that you may have in your repertoire, cedarwood, and then vetiver. Vetiver is really good for focus. It's really good for ADHD type brains, scattered brains, overwhelmed type brains. We do use it for sleep, but it can also be added to blends like this to just really help you focus and realize, hey, it's okay. Yes, there are 100 balls that I'm juggling right now, but it's okay. I just only need to catch one in this moment. And here are some daily rituals that we've put together for you. So again, screenshot this. I've been doing these exact rituals for you this past week and loving it. But what I would say is that reaping the benefits of natural medicine is not coming to a class like this and listening to Nikki and I talk. That's step one. But actually, the way that you're going to get the benefits is creating your own ritual in your own life that's easy and doable and something you can repeat every day, right? If you go to the gym once a month, it's going to have no impact on how you feel and how you look. You need to be going to the gym regularly. And it's the same with food. You need to be eating vegetables every day, not once a week type thing. So it's the same with our natural medicine. So here are some ideas for you. In the morning, doing an aromatic dressing. So in a little bowl, putting some fractionated coconut oil and a few drops of citrus bloom after your shower and moisturizing that over your body. Instant nervous system calm and perfume all over your body. Or you can go get a massage and have them do it, but this is a cheap way to do it at home. 4 drops of your Metapower and water, like I was saying, and then body brush with your Cypress or your Metapower. In the afternoon, using a citrus bloom as a natural perfume, you can diffuse the citrus bloom. You can add a drop of peppermint or a drop of spearmint. Really good for office focus. And then you can take your recharge electrolytes in the afternoon at 3 p.m. And in the evening, you're going to do your wind down routine. You're going to take your lavender peace soft gels. I've already taken mine. I'm ahead of you, people. You're going to diffuse. You could use that Coast blend with the cypress and clary sage. You're going to apply your lavender stick around your neck, chest, jaw, under your nose, and you're going to sleep on your mulberry silk pillow. So that's a suggested routine so that you can actually get them into your life. And as I said, I've been doing that exact routine the last week and loving it. Loving it. So I'm excited for you to experience it too. So BOGO box, as we said, this is the only week that you can get this box. It's only available until midnight Friday. Today's daily deal, which was the Citrus Bloom Coast, was 95% sold out at 6:30 p.m. So I imagine it's probably gone, if not close to. I do believe the sleep tools will sell out. Whenever the sleep tools come out, possibly as a pair, possibly not, they will sell out because they are so good. They will sell out because I am buying them. But the box is available until Friday or until it sells out. And it's massive savings. It really is. Only paying 245 New Zealand when they're worth 621. So what next? We would love to connect you into our community. You've really got 2 options. You can either choose the BOGO box for the most savings, or you can just choose the daily deal. So if you have budgets are concerned for you or you really want to hone in on one specific area, you can wait for the daily deal like today, the natural perfumes deal, the one for stress and mood. You can choose that daily deal. You can get 1 or 2 of them and then add any other custom items that you want as long as it's over PV. Product value, it's about $150. Then either of these options, the box or the daily, is going to get you a free wholesale account, free shipping, a wellness consultation with one of our wellness advocate team. So that might be myself, that might be Nikki, that might be one of our beautiful team in the chat. You've heard from Wendy, Jessie, I can see is in there as well. Sophie is in there as well. You're also going to get a free ebook and access to our private communities. We create a personalized plan for you as well. So we'll actually take you even further past just using this box and help to support you with your specific health concerns. So please contact us. You've got Nikki and my contact details at the top there. Our emails, please screenshot these, our emails, and also our handles on Instagram and or Facebook. We look forward to supporting you with your health goals. It is what we live and breathe every single day. It's why we hurry to get our kids into bed by 8 p.m. so that we can dial in here and teach you because truly it is an area that we are just so passionate about. And I'm pretty sure I can see Nikki and I both teaching about this area, natural health, until the day that we die, because we just love it so much. So it would just be our honor for you to say, yes, I'm ready, and I would love to give this a try, and for us to guide you and hold your hands there. So please contact one of us, or if you had one of our team invite you along, contact them directly, and we would love to welcome you in. Any questions, please throw them in the chat now. Nikki, have we had any last questions in here? Quickly
No, just
scanning.
lots of grateful comments. That was awesome.
Yes,
I feel like we
Cypress.
covered a lot of ground.
Amazing. All right, we'll have a wonderful evening, ladies and gents. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to your questions over either on social media or an email. We'll have this replay to you tomorrow, so you can watch it again. And we hope you enjoy adding these beautiful plant medicines into your life and reaping the benefits and looking and feeling your absolute best. All right, everyone. Good night.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.